I sat on the visitor side. I was on the visitor side, and there were a few Virginia fans. Let me tell you, they didn't give in the whole game. I mean, look, honestly, man, it's just I'm at a loss for words, to be honest with you. Like, it's just sometimes you get beaten down so much, and you see the same old thing, and you try to have some type of hope. It's just, how many chances did we blow today? We should have picked this guy off 4 times. I mean, bro, that touchdown, that it should have been an interception by Marcus Clark. I mean, that's the Diaz era right there. Anything that can go wrong will go wrong at the worst opportune moment. And I mean, you can't even make stuff like that up. It's hilariously bad.
I don't know if you guys.
It's just disappointing because.
Sorry, go ahead, Jordan. My bad.
What Jordan was saying, I think TVD, he showed a lot of guts today. He showed a lot of guts. He struggled. He definitely struggled. He missed some passes. But when we needed him to step up, he balled out. And I think it's a shame we didn't give him the opportunity in those last 2 minutes to try and win the game himself. Because I guarantee you he would have. I think if Lashley wouldn't have been on that, let's just run up the middle and hope to make this field goal. If he would have given him a legit chance to get it done, we're scoring 7 there. They couldn't stop us on that drive. They couldn't even stop us the last 3 possessions we had it. Like, it's disappointing, and it's not surprising because this is the culture at Miami. You're celebrating when you're down like 9-0. You're bringing out the chain, the rings. Dude, Virginia stinks. Like, how garbage that we are, that we lost to these guys. Like, come on, man. It's more of the same, honestly.
Yeah, and you mentioned the Marcus Clark play, that freak touchdown catch. The thing that jumped out to me was Clark was already celebrating, that he broke up that pass while the Virginia wide receiver was still making the play.
Yes.
Like, Clark was standing up celebrating when the catch was made. And it's like, dude, just finish the play. Just finish the play. Like, that's the problem. We're all hype, no substance, man.
Alex, thank you again for the $4.99 donation. He's got a little chiming in here. Virginia players were in each other's faces after every single mistake, while Miami always looked like they were about to cry. This is on Manny. Yes, absolutely. I can't deny any of that whatsoever because this is the essence of Manny Diaz. Yep. Mediocre competition, going to battle with them for 4 quarters, and then having to have a miracle to try to pull it out. Basically what I see is bad coaching, and then the bad coaches depending on their players to save their ass at the end of the game. That's what I see.
Yeah, and I mean the team takes on the personality of the coach. Every time we have these embarrassing losses, whether it was FIU or Clemson or Oklahoma State or UNC or any of these jobs that Manny knows in his head, you can see the wheels turning like, hey, my seat's getting pretty hot. Yeah. He looks like he's going to cry. And I don't mean that as an insult. Like I don't want to cut too low here, right? I'm trying to like make fair analysis. Manny looks absolutely bewildered in games like this. And so why wouldn't our bench look that same way? Like there is no confidence. It's, that's Manny's personality is you can read on his face that he knows that we're in trouble. He knows that he's in trouble. And that disseminates through the locker room. It disseminates through the bench. The whole program knows that that Manny's job is in a lot of trouble.
It permeates through the entire team. The head coach is what your team is going to be at the end of the day, ultimately. His mentality and his mindset is going to be what your team's mentality and mindset is. And before we get going here, I want to thank Charles Orozco for the $4.99 donation. Absolutely. Said, you guys are talking about the last drive of the game. I was at the game, and every single offensive drive was trash. I speak for the entire home side. I mean, hey, man, especially not being able to see any consistency. That was the issue for me today. While, ups and downs are okay with a young quarterback, the play calling is what drove me crazy, Jordan. It drove me absolutely nuts, dude. I don't know if you guys have anything to say about the play calling from Lashley, especially in the first half.
Yeah.
But I mean, I could go on and on for days.
Well, I had a tweet about that where I said, like the quarterback battle has seemed actually fairly even to me, even though we're starting Tyler Van Dyke. I said the major difference in this game is Robert Anae versus Rhett Lashley. That like the quarterbacks were essentially the same. Robert Anae put his guys in a much better position to succeed. And the funny, ironic part about this is Robert Anae was connected to our job when we hired Rhett Lashley. And everyone, including myself, Robert Anae used to coach here in Utah at BYU, was shouting from the rooftops, "That'll be a disaster." Okay. But now look at me. I'm saying we got out coached by Robert Anae, okay, on primetime football. So I will eat my crow, there, that we would probably be better off if Robert Anae was calling plays for us.
Leonel Caballero, thank you for the $9.99 donation. His comment here, Manny needs to go. Manny can't coach. You never put the game on the leg of a kicker. He should have gone for the TD. What do you think about that, Caleb?
I mean, he's saying facts. Let me tell you, I was screaming at that whole last drive. I was saying, look, you got to go for the gusto. You don't play for 3 here because Borregales, in my mind, I was thinking he missed the same kick against Michigan State a couple weeks ago. It was a short little kick. He kicked it wide. What did he do today? He did the same thing. You can't put yourself in that position where if you miss this, you lose the game. You got, I don't understand it, man. And what Jordan is saying is true. Let me tell you, lastly, he's stealing money from the university. That's what he's doing. Thievery. He a robber because all of this stuff he been saying is cap. That's all he is. He's a capper. He been saying, when he first got introduction, we're going to be a fast physical offense. We're going to get the job done, but you got to trust me, and then you'll see. Well, guess what? I wouldn't trust you because you're a swindler. Anything you say, forget about it, man. Forget it. I'm done with it. Let me tell you, this whole staff needs to be purged. I'm sorry. It's a fact. And what they're saying in the comments is true. Ross, we've been saying it for a while. We don't believe in Manny. We're done with it. You might as well pull the cord now, do what you got to do instead of keeping him on as a coach. I mean, if you think things are bad now, wait a couple more weeks. We still got UNC coming up.
We're getting the life sucked out of our program, and we're watching it happen on a weekly basis, and that's what kind of drives me nuts. We played Virginia today, guys. This is Virginia, a team that we should never be in a 4-quarter battle with. We should have easily been able to get that second half under control and win due to the fact that we have guys who are bigger, faster, and stronger than they are. We got out-coached. We simply got out-coached. And before I move on to this one, Alex Perez, thank you for the donation again.
Yes, sir.
He says, I looked up at the scoreboard, and halfway through the second, we had 28 yards on offense. I hate that this was my first Canes game, and I hate Manny. Man, I'm sorry that this was your first Canes game too, brother. I'm sorry. Thank you, Alex, though, for sticking with us, man. Thank you for being a loyal Canes fan. I know it's not going to be easy, but hopefully we get things right here in the future soon.
Well, we need to remember that the highlight of the University of Virginia, what they're known for, 2 things: shutting us out in the last game of the Orange Bowl, and then the other thing they're known for took place 220 years ago when Thomas Jefferson designed all their buildings, okay? So, that's who we're dealing with here. It's not a program that, Manny can't even get up there and say, hey, it's the University of Virginia. This is what they do. It's not what they do. They've never done this. They don't do this, right? They've had 3 good seasons in 100 years. I don't want to hear it.
They had a non-existent run game until today, and their defense was one of the worst in the nation. But lo and behold, they come and show up against us. And this was something I said in the pregame stuff. Virginia makes games ugly with us. They like to slow it down. They like to make it so things are just kind of muddy looking. That's where they find their advantage against us. They did that at times, and they did it too easily at times.